I want to talk about college tuition. I want to inform my audience about why college tuition should be free. For more specific, I want to persuade my audience that college should be free for those who live in the States. Because I, well as many others, I strongly believe that college tuition should be free because everyone should have the opportunity to attend a higher education. Why is this important? Well, it will help our community, our country, and ourselves. Why should we have college tuition? College, according to an article called College Should Be Free, they mentioned that a free college education can help people find jobs that pay them well and they can really receive money and spend it to pay taxes that will reach the government that once helped them pay for college. Yes, this will create a healthy cycle for the government because the money the government puts into students will end up coming back to the government and our economy will go up. Um, I will elaborate more about these topics in our speech. Many strongly believe that an increase in the number of Americans with higher credentials, so degrees, is essential for our economy, socially, culturally, and developing as a country. How can a higher education be essential to our culturally economy and socially? Well, culturally, the more education one has, the closer they get to know themselves, others, and their history. In school, you learn about a lot about history and a lot about humanity, and this is great for socially and culturally. Also, in college, you build a lot of bridges where you meet employees and employers. If college was free for students, they will take fewer student loans. Student loans in America exceed up to $11.5 trillion nowadays. That is a lot. That's holding a lot of students back. According to the Washington Post article, 44.2 million Americans have student loans debt, and 10.7% of those debts that are borrowed are default. Even though college is so expensive and students have to end up paying for it, this money it's taking out of nowhere pretty much because they can't end up paying it back. Not right after college, they barely get a job. They're not able to pay back the government and those debts just keep increasing and increasing and increasing and holding them back. And it's like a bridge you can keep passing through. This leads for students to come out of college buried under debt before they have a chance to start a career. Students' loans keep getting higher and higher, and it's not helping students, and it's not helping people with middle or low income or people minorities. What are some benefits for free tuition, you may ask? Why should we care? For starters, college graduates earn up to 570,000 more than high school graduates over a lifetime. Yes, the more you know, the more you earn. Lower unemployment rates are also a benefit for higher education. Individual financial life is also a benefit. Why should we care about individuality? Well, we cared when we made kindergarten to 12th education free, so why shouldn't we make college free? According to an article by Bureau of Labor Statistics, unemployment rates decrease according to higher education. High school dropouts. According to this article, Bureau of Labor Statistics, unemployment rate is 7.7% in 2017. And bachelor's degree is 2.5% of unemployment rate in 2017. That is a 5.2% of a difference. That's a huge difference of unemployment rate according to the higher the education goes. Who is mostly affected by higher college education? Well, everyone is affected, but mostly minorities and people of middle to low income. They all filter out and they're not able to attend colleges. Emily's article informs us that as many as 95% of college are completely unaffordable for a huge majority of Americans. Huge majority of Americans. Not just the poor, but most people are not able to afford colleges anymore. How expensive would it be to make colleges free for Americans? According to a book by Sim Wells, the title is Why Public Higher Education Should Be Free: How to Decrease Costs and Increase Quality at Americans' University. It will cost around $128 billion to make college free in America. Yes, you may think that number is big, but keep in mind that America spends a lot of their money in things that are not as important as education and that won't actually make the economy better. So before you think that's a lot of money, I also want to inform you that in an article by Washington Post, it was said that in 2010, $35 billion dollars were spent on Pell Grant, which is a way to help students. Also, $104 billion were spent on student loans by the government, and at least $10 billion on financial aid for students of universities and colleges. Also, $76 billion for direct supply of higher education for students. We are giving so much sources to students already. So why can't we make school free, higher education free? If you add all those numbers up, you will get more or the same amount as $128 billion, as is what is needed to make higher education free. If we use our resources the correct way and effectively, we can make higher education free. There are many countries that we can learn from. Many countries that we can learn from. Norway, Finland, Sweden, Germany, Slovenia, and France, and many others. The list can go on and on and on. They have free education, and their countries are well developed. I strongly believe the higher cost of education puts colleges out of reach for many families. Requires students to take on a big amount of debt, which is not good. This leads our economy to suffer because the lower education one has, the less financially stable they will be, and this affects the economy. When a lot of Americans are not financially stable, they require help from the government, which creates a cycle. Also, low-income families tend to stay in a cycle and stable financially life, getting more help from the government, which uses more money that can be given to those students. And their kids have fewer chances of attending colleges and breaking the cycle. Many countries in the world have free tuition, and it has helped them develop more. It's time to make public college free and university tuitions free for the students in our country. And we should pay attention how this really helps. Thank you.